Hello everyone, my name is Fletch and welcome to the Plectrum Dreams. This is an opportunity for me to talk about the channel and also to tell you a little bit about what I'm planning to do. Basically, I'm into music production and doing covers and trying to do music, and that's what basically the channel is all about. A little bit about myself. I am not the traditional music producer in a sense, because primarily I started off as a guitarist. That was the route that I went through. I did learn the keyboard a little bit, not so much the piano, but I think my family had an organ and stuff. But when I was a teenager, I was sent by my mom to pick up some music, and what it was that rather than play the keyboards, I decided to be a little bit different because I was more inclined towards being a guitarist. You know, after watching all those rock musicals and rock shows and stuff, I decided that that's probably the route I want to go. So I started off as a classical guitarist, and that would mean that I was formally trained in music theory, but ultimately, you know, that was many years ago. And if you ask me now, I can still read some notes, but you know, the theory part of it is a little bit lost. You know, so I'm trying to catch up on that. So along the way, I cultivated this love for the guitar, so much so that, you know, as in high school, what we did was we had Battle of the Bands, and of course that was my first taste of an electric guitar. And much to the chagrin of the teachers, we were belting out the music of the day. So I was born in the 60s, so that means that my influences were more from the rock of the 70s. So we were on stage belting out Pink Floyd and Led Zeppelin and Uriah Heep and stuff. Weren't too happy. Teenagers were happy, but the teachers weren't. And that, in a sense, was my first gig, in a sense. And throughout the years, I have done a few gigs, a few bands and stuff, mostly for fun, you know, because I really enjoyed music. And this channel will be about the music that I produce. And also, a lot of it is going to be guitar-based, although I'll have some keyboards and stuff. But I'll talk about my gear, the rest of my gear a little later on. But starting off, of course, my main guitar was the Fender Stratocaster, or the Squire Fender Stratocaster, made in Japan. And I got it in the early 90s. So that guitar was something that I have been used as like my workhorse. And why the Stratocaster? Because it was a more versatile instrument to play the kind of music that I was playing, mostly 60s and 70s. I know in the 90s, when I got my first that particular electric guitar, I actually did a couple of gigs, and we were doing, because it was the 90s, more grunge and a little bit of new metal as well. And it was still pretty versatile, although I realized that single coil pickups weren't the best in the world for certain types of music. So recently I got myself an Ibanez. So this Ibanez, and why I got it is because of the voicing. There was a humbucking pickup, and it felt a little bit better for what I was trying to do, because ultimately my goal is to be able to do rock-oriented or metal-oriented kind of music. And of course, with these two guitars, I had my range of pedals. I also have the Zoom G14X, which I bought recently. And one of the reasons is because I don't want to be lugging around a lot of pedals and pedal boards. I remember once in a gig that I did, I actually brought two. And it started to be the guitar, practice amplifier, two pedal boards, and suddenly it's like, you're in a rock show or something. Like I said, basically I'm a guitarist, and I gravitate towards that kind of music, and obviously it is what influenced me and the type of music that I'll be playing, or at least guitar-centric, right? Although you'll see a couple of songs later on that will also be keyboard-based as well. I have purchased the Presonus Atom because I'm not a keyboard player, so getting a keyboard MIDI controller would mean that I would have to relearn the keyboards and stuff. It's a little bit easier on that, at least in my opinion anyway. And in the case of music production, because I'm just starting out, and for many years anyway, I have used from the earliest version to the current version of Garageband. And Garageband has been my mainstay in the sense of DAWs to record, but I realized that it's pretty basic, hard to mix down stuff. You can't route things out to channels and buses and what have you. So I've stuck with it because, again, I don't want to be forking out that much stuff already since I'm just starting out. I tried to make do with what I have, but luckily enough, in the gear that I have, and obviously I needed to get an audio interface, and so what I did was I got out and bought myself a Focusrite 2i2. And it served as a basic audio interface for the microphone and also for the guitar interface as well, in which I can record. And luckily or otherwise, Focusrite comes with Ableton 10 Lite. It's a different kind of DAW. I know it's very powerful. It is one of the DAWs of choice for a lot of musicians and producers, but because of its workflow and everything else and the high learning curve, I haven't yet done anything on it, nor have I tried to learn anything out of it yet. Although I've watched some videos and I fooled around with it and everything else, but I felt that because it's non-linear form of recording and editing, because I'll be doing non-linear, or I have been doing non-linear video editing on Final Cut Pro. GarageBand is pretty linear in a way that you lay things out. I am quite happy the fact that with the Atom came Studio One, which is very similar to GarageBand in the way it works, and I like the drag and drop functionality and the way you can deal with the plugins and everything else. So that was the way to go for me. Still a learning curve, but I'll probably get there soon anyway. Besides music production, I'll be doing some music, covers, and originals. In fact, I'm working on an original song, which is, to me, something that I would like to do, to bring together a genre that I was very interested in, which is nu metal. And of course, nu metal, is basically people like Linkin Park, Limp Bizkit, and Incubus that featured rap or a DJ on it. And in this case, bringing it forward to today, I won't be doing the nu metal of the 90s or the 2000s. I'll try and do something a little bit different. I think the closest to driving dance music or driving rap music of today is trap and more so drill. So I'm trying to combine a song with the same driving force and then couple it with nu metal to do something new. So look out for that. That's something that I'll be working on. And of course, I'll be doing some covers. And course, if this is the first time here on the channel, I'll leave a link in the cards above on the previous video I did, which is a little beginning of another cover. And it's not going to always be this way. It's going to be full covers with me playing most of the instruments. When I can, I'll collaborate with another musician to be able to produce the song, either another guitar part or another vocalist, because I cannot really sing to save my life. Maybe some songs within a certain range, but I'm not a vocalist. Well, in any case, that's basically what this whole channel is all about. If it's the first time here, thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to click the subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the notification bell to let you know about the next video that I'm putting out. Thank you very much, and you have a good one.